this morning, this evening. Let's go with trying to see which opening I'm gonna use here. Let's go with this one.
Aaron Evans.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another episode of Real Men Being Men. Welcome to another episode of Real Men Being Men. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this evening. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this evening. It's we're going to do we're going to try to get back to our regular programming where it's four square conversation. We'll have four square conversations. But before we get into those squares, before we get into what we're going to talk about, I want to go around right now and give everybody an opportunity to introduce themselves. We're going to start with Rico. Tell everybody who you are, brother, and where you're hailing from.
I don't hit the wrong button. This is Rico Jackson. I'm in here from Anniston, Alabama.
Good deal. Good deal. Pastor.
I'm Pastor Brown from Tabernacle of Worship here in Morrow, Georgia.
Good deal. Good deal. Don.
Hey, Don, aka The Crucial, Marietta, Georgia, Atlanta, all the above.
He was all over the place, y'all. He was all over.
He's got the right jersey on. He's got the right jersey on.
Yes. Georgia always, though. Georgia always.
Listen, man. Take that jersey off, man. And go get you a Steeler jersey, man. Get you a real jersey, man. Stop playing. Well, listen, we got somebody on the phone lines. As a matter of fact, I think we got Aaron on the phone line. Aaron, tell everybody who you are, where you're hailing from.
This is Aaron Evans, originally from Columbia, South Carolina, currently living in High Point, North Carolina.
Good deal. Now, we got some light topics tonight. We're gonna talk about some light things. We're gonna start this thing off super light. I know a lot of y'all have been seeing on social media. Rico, I'm gonna start with you, brother. On social media, they have all these different trends that's going on social media. And let's talk for a minute about the social media trends. One of the things I want to talk about, man, and it's the craziest thing I've seen in my life, man. Why in the world would they get all those milk crates and try to climb up to the top? I've seen people break arms. I've seen people bust their heads open. Rico, help me understand, brother. What is really going on?
I refuse to watch them and give them any more energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving people any more energy to watch them hey, watch me be dumb. I made a post yesterday. You know, at first it was the challenge, the ice bucket challenge for ALS.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these challenges had a cause behind them. Now the cause is just to be seen.
Yeah.
Hey, look at me. Watch how dumb I can be. Watch me hurt myself. It's like the Jackass syndrome. You remember that movie Jackass?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? They just walk around, shot fireworks and skyrockets out their butt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let snakes bite them in the top of their penis head and stuff. Man, I'm like, you just doing stuff to be seen, just ridiculous stuff, you know? So now everybody want to be Jackass.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to be seen. And I just got off the friend with one of my buddies that told me that they have been shut down twice. He's doing it for his YouTube channel now. Mind you, people dying every day.
Yeah.
They've been busted twice, and now they're looking for another spot for them to go and do a milk crate challenge, and all these cars following each other around so they can prop up and do the milk crate challenge, and then everybody go live try to do the YouTube. They want to be social media influencers. So that attention and those likes, you know, that like, but look at me. Like I said, man, it has blown everybody's mind wide open. I haven't seen one of them challenges yet. I refuse to even give it energy.
And Don, let me ask you this: is 15 minutes of fame, and it's like they're trying to go for their 15 minutes of fame. They're trying to grab that 15. Is it really worth all this stint in which they're going?
Not necessarily, but I will say you kind of have to be open to the idea that we live in a social media economic kind of structure for some things, and that's that's kind of like the wave now. People are trying to find their niche in that market, and some people are struggling to try to get their numbers up and their attention, and that's kind of like what it is. As far as these challenges that are life threatening, is like, I agree with Rico, absolutely insane and stupid. But the motive behind it, the culture behind it, the the generation that is really pushing and doing it, it's dense across a couple of generations, but again, it just kind of brings you back to that social economic area. In this, we had the industrial phase, now we in this social economic stuff where it's like, all right, your value is associated to how many views you have, who's really following you, and behind that drive, and that creates potential revenue. Now it's just like the NBA in a little bit, because if you're not that guy, that person, whomever that people are willing to back and have a consistent following, if you don't have content, right? And that's the main thing that's kind of it's lacking. Like you said before, Rico, you had different kind of challenges that were supporting the cause per se, and that's for a reason. But then there's certain other avenues like gaming and just general influencers and stuff like that. They get dollars based on how many people they can get to follow them. So the more people they can get to like and subscribe, then that's it. But the problem is, we have, the disposition of human nature is just to gravitate to things that are entertaining, and that just so happens to be the gruesome and horrific. It's like, it's horrible to watch, or it's horrible to just see somebody do it, and it's ignorant and stupid. But there are people in front of the TV that are clicking on this that says, hey, it might be dumb, but it's entertaining. And that's driving dollars, that's driving people's decisions. Oh, I seen this person get a million follows and likes off of this, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cookie cut this process and jump on the wave while I can and get my numbers up. So it's a little bit of a game. Yes, it's stupid. Some things that are not that hurtful may work for your favor, like the ice bucket challenge or whatever. But you had challenges where the Gorilla Glue girl who put Gorilla Glue on her hair, she got a huge following behind that. Stupid as hell, but she had to undergo surgery to get it surgically removed. And they gave her a wig and some money. Then you had the breeding challenge where, we're all fathers here. So we got younger kids who are going to be millennials, Generation X, or whatever the case may be. But there's that time where people are holding their breath to consciously faint, to induce fainting. People have died from that. So these challenges gets crazy when it gets to the extreme to where it's life threatening. But other than that, there's a social economic drive behind it, and it's driven by dollars, it's driven by market, and it's driven by the people. You know what I mean? They're stupid for doing it, but we are giving that fuel to it by watching it. And like Rico said, you control, where those advertisement dollar goes by what you watch, because you are the person who is building their platform up by watching. So
exactly. Yeah, it's crazy as it is. Aaron, what do you say to this, man? These social media trends, man, what is really going on?
Man, the idle mind is a devil's workshop.
And
they confirming that. I mean, like they said with the trade challenge, and when I haven't even looked at the video yet. But as soon as I saw all the milk crates stacked up and somebody climbing up, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it. This fool ain't gonna do nothing but hurt itself.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't watch this. I mean, this is just, and it is a shame. Like the brothers are saying. I mean, it's a shame that you're doing it for life. A thumbs up on on a picture, or a heart on something else. And I'm like, really? I mean, it's like, how did we get to this point of stupidity gets rewarded? And I mean, and I don't want people to misconstrue and misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not calling the people stupid, but we're doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And when did we say that was okay? When did we say, yeah, I want to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it reminds me of that movie that came out years ago called Idiocracy, where a guy had somehow fell under suspended animation for years. Then he comes back, and society is completely dumb. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like they have lost all mental capacity to think for themselves. And I'm just like, why are we going toward that trend? You know, with
Mm-hmm.
all this modern technology, why are kids still flunking out of school? I mean, it just don't make sense
Mm-hmm.
for us to dumb ourselves down like this.
They and like Don said, man, it's all about those likes. You know, you get those likes and you get all these different things, man, and you try to capitalize on it. You try to you try to create a capital from people being stupid. And I hate to use the
Well,
word stupid.
go ahead. No, I'm sorry. I was going to piggyback on that too. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but you know, the people got to look at something like this. YouTube rewards people for the viewing of a video based on the content.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out and look at some of the people who have the YouTube content to get rewarded and get paid, they have millions of followers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but look at the content of what the people are doing. You get one video and you go viral. Okay, that's one video. That means you got to make something else even more stupid or just as dangerous
Mm-hmm.
to keep that going. Whereas
Yeah.
you look at other people, like a guy that I follow a bunch of guys, and young ladies on YouTube who they have content. Brian Tyler Cohen has a lot of political content, you know,
Mm-hmm.
political commentary. David Pakman is another one. Jesse Dollimore is another one. For the comedy side, you got guys like Big Josh and King V, and the ladies like Miss Sade and Organic Charlene. You know, they have comedy skits to go with their fans and to go with their views. So they
Mhm.
have content
Mm-hmm.
that goes back 3, 4, 5 months, or even 4 or 5 years. So they have stuff that they have constantly done and evolved and put stuff together. It's not a crate challenge. They have actual like video content,
Yeah.
skits and skit series and stuff together that make it worthwhile watching rather
Mm-hmm.
than just one like it's like a one hit wonder. He got one song and then you like, where the album at?
Exactly. Let me go to Pastor. We got somebody on the phone line. Caller, hold on. We're gonna come to you in just 1 second. Pastor, what do you say to this? We're talking about the social media trends, and right now, in particular, we're talking about that milk crate challenge. Man, I saw a guy said I give 10,000. He had it stacked up so high, and they say I give anybody $10,000 if you can make it to the top. And people are going to try and take and try and make that money. Not, man, you could kill yourself, man. You could die. But Pastor, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I mean there's and I like how Don talked about the the financial end, especially of what's driving a lot of these social trends. But the reason why you can make the money is because of the people that are willing to participate. And I think that's the bigger question, is what is driving them to participate. Now, I mean, sure, you have somebody that's offering $10,000. There's a whole lot of people doing that stuff for free.
Yeah.
They just climbing up on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because they want the likes, they want the looks.
Mm-hmm.
So the question becomes, what's driving them? What is so vacant in them that they feel like they need to be filled by somebody else acknowledging them?
Mm-hmm.
That becomes the bigger question. Why do we feel so void that we've got to have other people that we don't know and don't even know? They could be calling us crazy, stupid, or whatever, but that's what we're seeking, and that's what we're yearning for. And that's what drives this whole social media market. That's why the people that know how to capitalize on it is marketing for them. And great marketers, they're like, there's no bad marketing.
Pastor, let me step in 1 second, and I'm gonna ask you a question because this came to me when you were saying that. It just hit me real hard.
Mhm.
Is it almost like an acceptance type thing? it's almost like an acceptance type thing, because that child that sits in the corner all the time just want acceptance from their parents, want to be accepted and want to be included and want to be a part of what the parents are doing. And can it be something of acceptance where, you know, these people are willing to sacrifice themselves just to be accepted, to the point where now they're part of something? Like
Sure.
people, when a lot of time when people get into gangs and stuff like that, you know, they get into gangs because they want to be accepted, they want to be a part of something, and so they find, you know, they don't necessarily get that from home, and so they go out, and then when they go out into the streets, people that don't really care for them, or say, "Don't worry about it, man. We got you, brother. You be a part of us," and don't have the
Sure.
best interest at heart. Go ahead, Pastor. Speak on that. It just came to me so hard.
Yeah, and that's a part of the reason why a lot of folks will hide behind their cameras on their computers or their phones, and they'll use it to create these images, to create even content, and say things that they would never say to somebody face to face, but they're doing it because they're getting likes. They can get people to pay attention to them that they can't get to pay attention in their own home, in their own school, in their own neighborhood. So when they walk around faceless in their the community and the people that are around them, now all of a sudden they have a face, a name, a voice to millions or hundreds of thousands or dozens of people that pay attention to them, and the folks around them don't even notice them. So even though they'll never be able to truly have an effective relationship with these folks, but yet they still are able to feel worthy, feel valued, because someone has validated them. And so that's what happens a lot of times. So even when these crazy challenges come around, sometimes people will do it simply because they see other people looking at someone else, and they say, I want people to look at me like that. So I'm going to do this. And it doesn't matter what the risk is. They aren't even thinking that far ahead. They're thinking at the fact that they feel void, they feel empty, and they want somebody to pay attention to them and to acknowledge them.
Wow. We have a caller. We're gonna come to you in just 1 second. But right now, I'm led to Rico. Rico, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
I mean, he hit it on the head, man. It was the perfect storm. You know, first off, there's this thing with human beings that we want to be recognized as somebody. Hey, I know you. Can I have your autograph? Man, imagine how that would feel. Imagine how it would feel to be Michael Jackson, to be adored by everybody, to be recognized everywhere you went as somebody. Somebody. You know who I am? You don't know me? Some people even want to be known by their sex tapes. Some people want to be known by being on Jenny Jones. I had a cousin that went on Jenny Jones, and the day that it aired, he made sure he went and stood out everywhere. And you should have seen the people just walking up to him. Hey, I saw you. He loved it. I swear, I mean, he grinned all day long. He was recognizable. People that didn't know him, they knew him. He had been on TV. Fame. I want to be somebody. I want to be famous, recognized. You know, and see, and that's also the other symptom of having ADHD. See, most people think that for you to have ADHD, you don't know how to focus. It's hard for you to pay attention, but you can also lack from attention. Lack from receiving attention. So now you become consumed with wanting somebody to recognize you, not only accept you, because once you get in that game, then you might want to be recognized as the best game banger that ever came through this set. You got more time, more body, so more dope than everybody. Being a fool. But I'm gonna tell you what the real perfect storm was. MTV and Fox, Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumberer, In Living Color. It was good and fun. Bart Simpson. And then MTV took it to another step and said, well, we're going to take it past Beavis and Butthead and Bart Simpson, and we're going to put it on reality TV, Real World. Then they came up with a character, a guy named Puck. He was Bart Simpson in the flesh. Disgusting, rude, nasty white boy. Would put boogers in the peanut butter. I mean, man, just nasty, filthy. I mean, he was the first one that admitted to not bathing but once a month. And then he became a superstar. He was Jackass before Jackass. He became a superstar. People, I believe they saw how people sort of
drifted toward that sensationalism of that the program. What is he gonna do next week? That's so disgusting. Ooh, I hate him. I hate him so much. I want to watch him, just like Erica Kane.
Mm-hmm.
See, everybody like to bend him. So you know the deterioration of society has become profitable.
Mm-hmm.
So now you take it from Jackass and you take it from the movies and you put it in reality TV. So now people got the opportunity to do it themselves on YouTube. Well, I look at somebody on TV do it when I got the opportunity to put myself out there to the world and shoot some skyrockets out my butt.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Roman camels.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Wow.
I mean, it's all about being recognized. Can I have your autograph, please?
Mm-hmm.
I think I know you.
That's crazy. That's and sad things about it, man. That is the real reality of it. That's the real reality of it, man. And let me go to the phone line. Donald Tucson, how you doing?
I know you.
Donald Tucson. Donald Tucson, tell everybody where you're from. Mississippi.
You just told him what I gotta speak for. Look here.
Uh-huh.
I know somebody right now. They were at a right as we speak. They're on the prayer list because they don't know whether they are going to be paralyzed for the rest of their life.
Wow.
Behind that milk crate challenge. Right now. We're praying for them. You know what we're praying for them? For?
What's that?
Did I get hung up?
No. You there?
They're being foolish. We're praying for them because they was foolish. Because we are a society of mimicking and following after stupidity.
Wow.
We'll go to the extreme to be stupid. What in the world? Why would you want to? Remember the last challenge? They were setting themselves on fire in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Why? What? You don't think fire burns? And then you're gonna videotape it,
Yes,
so
sir.
all your friends could see you get third-degree burns. Really?
It doesn't make
So,
sense.
I mean, I thought about what I thought about is what we actually are doing. Most of them are prostituting on social media for free, selling ourselves out, putting our business on display, so that somebody can know about it and say, "Oh man, I seen you." But it don't. None of it. You gonna challenge me? You mean to tell me you gonna challenge me to climb up something that has no foundation whatsoever? But is that what we're talking about?
It's amazing, man. How much and what people would do, Don, for attention. Talk to me, brother.
You mean me or Don Tucson? Mississippi.
No, you.
Yeah.
No, you.
All right.
I'm gonna address him as Tucson. I'm gonna address him as Tucson. So we don't.
Got you. Okay, just checking. Yeah, I mean it's amazing. I tend to concern myself with things more on the capitalization end of things. People have been, unoriginal for years, and if they don't have a great idea, they're quick to see somebody else do something and mimic that, and try to emulate it to try to get that certain vibe. Like Rico said earlier, we human nature, it's in our nature to want that attention, that affirmation. In fact, it's one of the love languages, in relationships, which is affirmation, words of affirmation. People giving you gratitude or giving you props on what you do, no matter what it is something that gives that feeling that I'm worthy of being alive, I'm worthy of being here. I don't knock it necessarily until it gets to a point where it's life threatening. That, like you said, like there's just things that borderlines on the edge of stupidity, and it's like no one in their right mind should be attempting this. You know, like any of the shows that make it big beforehand, before social media, anything that made it big, always give that disclaimer: kids, don't try this at home, right?
Yes.
With social media, it's live. It's now. It's happening. There's no way to get in front of it. There's no way to filter it. You know, there's no kind of organizational restrictions on what you can do. They got fans only. Women are getting up here showing their goods and all this other stuff and getting people, and some are profiting off of it, some not much more so than others, but it's really based on like, well, if you want to profit, this is what you do, right? So they use that formula, and the thing about it is it's just an unspoken formula. It's something that you pick up from osmosis in a way, right? You grow up in the household, you learn from your parents, not by them telling you how you're going to be or how you're going to behave, but you witness it, you see it, and this is the environment, and this is the culture that we're in. I'm learning based off of my environment, and because we're in a social environment, demographic, this is our environment, and it's just massive, right? It's mass communication times a billion, and this is how people learn. This is how people do. They see what's current and popping, and you got social media platforms popping up every day, Instagram, TikTok, all this other stuff, and it just blows up.
Exactly.
There's different types of people in this world. There's people who would say the building's on fire, the work, we're about to get indicted, we need to figure something out. And you can go to the lower level person and be like, hey, how about we go to the roof and jump? You go to the CEO, well, I might push, but I'm not going to jump, right?
Yeah.
So that means that there's people that are capitalists, people that are doers, people that are mimickers. Everybody has their certain place, and you just have to decide where you want to be in that role. So people that are saying, hey, I'll offer you $10,000 if you do this. You doing that, just like the pastor said, you're marketing my channel. You're marketing for me. Your stupidity, you might get hurt. You may get $10,000, but I might receive $1 million off it. I'm getting a return on that investment. That's business, that's business sense. And also, it's like there's certain people who are instigators who's like, oh, I bet you won't. I bet you won't. They won't do it, but their goal in life is to get you to do it. Just like when you're in school, you're youth, you're bullies and stuff like that. They're instigators. There are people that don't get any clout or respect about doing it, but their role is to instigate. You know what I mean? And you bring that into the social media platform. It's like, well, I want my views up. I want to be the class clown of life, right? Before social media, you had to either be somebody or you had to work and get to a certain social status where you were in an environment where you can get acknowledgement. That class clown who was in high school, or that football player who was going to be they make it into real life and they get hit with real life problems, and you don't see them anymore. Now you have social media, you have all kind of fake stuff that gives people that identity, that affirmation. I can still be funny. People still can acknowledge me, you know, and they assimilate, you know, but the root of it all is whether or not are you going to be able to capitalize or not? Are you going to be one that ends up on the short end of the stick in the ER, dead or whatever? Or are you going to be the one that has the followers, has the views, and telling other people to do it while you're filming it? The sucky thing about our society is that people are so quick to pull out their phone and record something versus stopping it. There are people in the streets who get in fights, or people that get, you know, that in front of you dying, or you know, and your reaction, these people that doing their stuff, they're playing their role. But us as a society, we're making it acceptable. We're making social media to where it's like, oh, I'd rather watch this. Let me pull out this. This is gonna get views. This person is dying in front of you, and your decision is, instead of helping, instead of stopping, I'm gonna decide to do this. So until people can decide to be better, my decision based on human nature, either I will be on the capitalized side or I definitely won't be in the idiotic seat, but I think
Good deal.
this platform is good to talk about it so everybody's kids can do the right thing. But yeah, that touched your nerve right there.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Aaron. Aaron, what's on your heart, brother?
He said it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he said it. I mean, it's like, you're trying to capitalize. My thing is, not only are we trying to capitalize, but trying to be copycat. Just because it worked for somebody don't mean it's gonna work for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to. I mean, the thing that really burns me up, or really bothers me, or really formulates a question in my mind is, what's going to be your legacy?
Mm-hmm.
What is your legacy? Your legacy, your claim to fame, your infamously, or you're famously known for, I guess. I mean, how? I mean, that's are you famous for just a YouTube post of you doing a crate and breaking your arm in 3 places? Okay, you don't need them likes for YouTube to pay you that money so you can pay for that doctor's bill.
Exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
It's like, people say, sense ain't common no more. Why? That's something that gets me, is for as long as it's, wow, where has it gone? Why has it disappeared?
Hey,
why
we can't blame it all on the now. We can't.
The greatest access to technology is doing dumb stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell my son, who just started high school, I tell my son, I'm like,
Did you guys freeze?
Yeah, looks
I think Raheem is frozen. So
okay.
what has happened is we may or may not be on because he's froze.
Right.
So
the clock's
we
still
can
going up.
Well, it looks like the time is still going. So Don, you may want to go ahead and make that comment you were about to make.
Yeah,
right.
all I was gonna say is that I feel like it's a timeless issue, whereas we can't necessarily blame it on now. I mean, granted, it's more glorified now, it's more instant, it's more on social media, whatever. But stupidity has existed throughout the ages. And again, I just think certain people play their roles. Back in the day, y'all had a game. Y'all know that game was called Chicken, where y'all you get on one roadway and you got cars driving and see who's going to turn off first. So, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun as far as action. There's just people that plays their role and what role they're going to be in and what role you want the people that you care about. And us talking about it helps, try to, bring some light to how ignorant it is. But people are going to play that role no matter what throughout the ages. And you just got to decide where you're going to be at in it,
Yeah. I remember when I was in high school, I had a geology teacher, geography teacher. And he would say, what did he say? He said, I don't know why they call common sense common, because it sure ain't common. And that was over 30 something years ago. So, so that's just something we got to know. And you know what? There's something you said that pricked something in me. And I typed this, the consciousness of society is being desensitized.
Yes.
And that is really it. I think it's even more and more, the word puts it this way. It says, as the world gets older or wiser, then the people will be weaker. As the world gets wiser, the people will be weaker. And a lot of times people think that's a physical strength, but it's not. It's a mental strength. It's a social strength. And I think that's more so what we're seeing at a different level than we've seen before. It's not that it hasn't been there, but because all eyes are now on it. like you said, people open up, just pop out their phones. Here it is, a person dying, should be calling 911, giving them CPR or something. They're going to sit there and record it.
Yeah.
It's just something that we see around us. It's desensitization of the consciousness of people.
I got kicked out there for a second.
Now,
Hold on one second. Hold on. Aaron, hold on one second. I got kicked out there for a second. So if that happened again, gentlemen, I like what y'all did. Continue the conversation because y'all was still live. I was actually watching what y'all was saying. So y'all are still live. Once if I out, y'all are still live until I come back in. And so just continue the conversation, and we'll do that. It actually kicks everybody off on the phone line too, so they weren't able to hear what y'all was saying. Man, they had a good conversation going on the side there too, man. I kind of peeked in on that conversation. But Aaron, go ahead, brother. What's on your heart?
Oh, I heard everything. I heard everything they said.
Oh, you can hear it?
Well, I'm just
I heard
piggybacking on.
Okay.
I was just piggybacking on what he was saying because everything he's saying was accurate. I was saying what Will Smith said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, about racism. It ain't new. It's just being filmed. So and he's 100% right. I mean, my man was right. You know, yes, it's getting to the point where people pulling out their phones and recording stuff. You know, I mean, if two people get in an argument in Walmart, everybody grabbing their phones like, oh, something might pop off. Like, really? Nobody gonna break up the fight? Nobody call security? Nobody call the police? If you gonna let these two people fight so you can get likes on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
No, two people could get hurt.
Yeah.
Just stop this thing before it escalates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. We kind of went over a little bit. I mean, and we can actually continue this conversation. We can continue this conversation, but I want to go to my next square, and I'm going to go Rico. Rico, you there?
Oh man, please let's stay on this one, man. There's a couple more points need to be made, man. And you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was only hearing the phone conversation, but I didn't hear the internet conversation because I got on the phone line. So I thought I heard that was the internet conversation, but it was actually the brother on the phone.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
But I want to answer a question because you know, Mr. Tucson said why, and the brother that was on the phone asked the same question, why. And that it's like people are wondering why is that behavior prevalent, and you know whether or not we want to realize it or not, man. Human beings, that we people appeal to our most simple desires, and so when you start thinking about how now society wants things quick and fast in a hurry, you also thinking about when it's quick and fast, it's also simple and it's convenient. So now, if you could get that one hit, you can become famous fast. And if you could do the most humiliating thing, like I said earlier about the deterioration of society being profitable, humiliation is profitable now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now you don't have to be excellent. See, it takes a little bit of effort to be excellent, but it don't take a whole lot to be simple. So if they appeal to your most simple appeal, your most simple attention, and get you to watch the most sensational things, then that's why people are doing it, because it doesn't take a whole lot to humiliate yourself and record it to get a laugh, to be a just and a minstrel, to be an entertainer. So that's why even in the music industry, everybody is now looking for that one hit. And even the average person has that same mindset. They're looking for that one viral moment because they know if they go viral, it might take off like Kevin Samuels. And I'm gonna show you how important it is. Going viral and getting likes and getting paid attention to on social media is so big now that the queen of fame from social media, people don't realize her family owns TMZ, Kim Kardashian and her parents.
Mm-hmm.
They call the paparazzi out because they know people want to see what they're doing. In their most simple element, people still want to see what they're doing. And so it's really the like I said earlier, the deterioration of society. Society has gone downhill because we want everything quick, fast, in a hurry, and it mainly success. If it takes people to humiliate themselves to become successful, they don't mind doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It only lasts for a second.
Exactly. Tucson, talk to me, brother. Rico said you want to stay with it. He said, please stay with this. So we got to stay right here. We're going to stay with this one to the top of the hour, brother. What's on your heart?
I'm just saying, and I just asked a question. Don't at sometimes YouTube pay you?
Yes.
Ain't that something? If I can make that one good hit, the love of money
It's
Mhm.
the root. It's always the root. If there's money in it, people are willing to do anything. They shake that thing like a sauce pecan. I had to stop right
Yeah, stop right there, brother. I don't know where you take the left turn. You ain't put no signal or nothing, brother. You just turn left.
Look here, man. We got 4 and 5 and 3 and 4 generations of people that are TikToking, grandmothers or with their grandchildren. Instead of them saying, "Hold up now, let me show you a better way to conduct yourself." Grandma shaking that thing too. She can't
Mm.
drop it like it's hot, but she letting it down like it's warm. But she did
Lord, Lord.
Yeah,
Look, Don,
You
Don,
know,
it,
that's crazy. But I
Don,
want to
what
don't take out. Wait a minute. Where I hear.
yes, sir.
But if you check it out, and Pastor, you gonna go, you see, we're watching to see how close we can get when the scripture says they're gonna be doing the same thing when Sodom and Gomorrah, when he came and rained down fire and brimstone, when Noah entered the ark. So when Rico says the sinfulness of mankind is showing up, here we are in a state that we looking crazy. I mean, it don't even make no sense. There is no righteousness in it, but instead of you saying, okay, look here, y'all not supposed to be fighting. Here we are killing each other. We're destroying one another. This man is robbing the bank. And you mean to tell me you're going to pull your phone out? Come on now.
Mm. Something don't seem right about
that. No. Stop
that.
it. Stop it.
Don, talk to me, Don. What's on your heart, brother?
oh man, I mean, we're right on so many levels, man, and yet, again, it's just the duality of life in general. Everything has a good component to it, and everything has a bad component to it. It depends on who hand is in. So, social media, and sometimes those instinctual behaviors to pull out your phone, it's played its role in very pivotal moment of progress for culture. Like the Rodney King moment where that got caught on camera, Sandra Bland moments where that got caught on camera, cops brutalizing people and whatnot. That having that video footage was essential to us gaining progress. But again, different platforms, different, scenario, different types of people, depending on who they are, that's their instinct. Like my brother, rest his soul, my little brother who's graduating college or whatever, was murdered on campus. And if you get murdered with a knife or stabbed or whatever, that's something that could have been broken up. And a lot of people was around, and I feel like most people just pull their phones or whatever. That right there is, to me, just frustrating. But it's kind of just the fact that it's a level of inclusiveness as well. There's certain people that have disconnects with their kids, and finding a way to connect with their kids versus just feuding with their kids. You don't have Big Mama no more, like that old style Big Mom that's gone show you right way. Most parents try to be, breaking different types of cycle, but winding up breaking the root, the foundation of our culture. And they're more so trying to be friends with their kids nowadays, or whatever the case may be. But like, they're just trying to find a way to connect. So I see it, but you got some people that do it well, and then some people that don't do it right. We're at a pioneer stage of social, again, social society, social economics, and being a pioneer, you're not going to do it right all the way 100. It's going to be trial and error. It takes conversation like this to get to a better state of it. And I think every feedback that we've given so far helps shape that kind of layout. Get it to an acceptable point and hold it accountable.
Even grandma shaking it like it's lukewarm. That's even that is a good part of it.
That falls under the tight category. No,
he said letting it down like it's warm.
Oh, letting it down
like it's warm.
She can't drop it. She gotta just let it down a little bit.
That,
We got
that's
another caller.
That's your own preferences and morals and values. If you were raised with values and principles and morals that says, "Hey, that's not right," then you will not accept the person into your life that's doing that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But there's somebody for everybody. You do you, I'll do me. And when you get to the kingdom of the gates and it's judgment day, then that's between you and God.
whether that gate open or close or stay closed.
Exactly.
We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm assuming it's VP from Connecticut. How you doing?
VP, what's going on? How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Just
Good.
came out of another study and jumping on here.
There you go. Hey, good to have you. Good to have you, brother. We're talking about the social media trends, and namely the that icebox challenge, where people are breaking their necks and dying and all kind of things, man. VP, what do you think about that?
You talking about the milk crate challenge?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think people are susceptible to whatever they think is cool is gonna get them the viewage to. But that's a society nowadays, man. Everybody they'll try anything. You remember the cinnamon challenge?
Yeah,
I even tried that one.
Oh
I was
Lord,
in the military like a dummy, about to die.
man, why you try? Why VP? Why you try that, man? Why you? What VP? Tell me why you tried that, bro. Tell me why. He can't answer.
Because I didn't know. Well, one, because I didn't know you couldn't swallow cinnamon like that. So I thought it was a joke. Most of the time, you think it's a joke. So when I was in my 20s, I tried the cinnamon challenge. Now I will never try this milk crate thing. These people are falling on their necks.
Yeah.
They're not even falling. The people ain't even like setting up pillows or mattresses next to them because they know they're gonna fail. They're purposely abusing each other for entertainment.
Exactly.
I mean, it looks more detrimental because there's a lot more of the African American the black people doing it, but everybody has their stupid challenges. But I don't know. I think it's a dying fad. It won't last long.
I hope not.
Somebody else comes out with something else.
I hope it don't last long because
more
it's gonna be a lot of that. The numbers gonna catch up with COVID in a minute. Pastor, what's on your heart?
No, I think everybody's hitting the nail on the head. I mean, I really do. This it's just gotta be something. Yeah, no, you gotta. You messed them up with that. But yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things that I think when we look at the social aspect and even the capitalism, that's the sad part about it, is because some people understand the nuance in the system, and if they hashtag it right, they didn't even have to be a part of it. They didn't even have to be there. But now they've hashtagged it, and they have a way now to capitalize on someone else's ignorance. And that's the thing. So you have, again, this one side that's trying to fulfill something that's more of a void on the inside, and you have this other side that's looking at capitalizing on the ignorance of others. And it's a sad commentary on our culture. All the way around, it's a sad commentary on our culture. And that's just, and Don, I'm so sorry to hear about your brother, man. That's just terrible, to have been lost that way and other people around and nobody stopping. And that is, we've seen that in movies. We've seen that. And it wasn't to desensitize, it was to awaken us to what's going on. But, whether it's Do the Right Thing or whatever, you see all these things that have been shown to us, but yet we still keep replicating it and duplicating it. And if it further degrades every time. That's why when brother said that the whole thing about the deterioration of society, oh man, that is just it is just the truth. It is just the truth. It's what we're seeing and what we're experiencing. And I don't know what will turn to awaken us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think that has to be a question that at some point we've got to investigate, start thinking about, because what has to happen for you know, when is enough enough?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is so disgusting that you can't take it anymore?
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's
You know,
good.
I think those are the kind of things that we got to look at and say, you know, God, can I, you know, I'm looking at, and I don't want to go political here, but I'm looking at, you know, the U.S. about to come back from Afghanistan, and they're saying, hey, look, we're going to come back by this certain date. But you know, we're going to try to get all the U.S. people out, but we're going to leave some folks that are there, and these are some of the same people that spent over the last 20 years risking their lives to support our troops. But you know, you're leaving them to certain death because you know they're going to be executed.
Yeah.
And you know, when is it not okay to not keep your word and things? Those are just common things of society that you teach your children. If you give your word, you stand on your word. You don't go out here and you climb up and break your neck. So then, you know, whatever's going on in your life that makes you think that that's okay, guess what? Now it's over and it cannot be fixed. I was like, there's some things that's like, look, there has to be an awakening to our conscience at some point that says, let's think about it, let's talk about it, instead of just allowing these things to happen.
Exactly. Rico, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, it's like it's pretty much, you know, about success, I guess. Anything to be recognized, you know, there's a lot of success come with recognition. Some people think success come with fame, infamy. And so, you know, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. When you start seeing the humiliation becomes profitable, you know, you start seeing no reason for people to want to save lives. You know, we talked before about how we saw that man. I think it was down in Florida where the boys let the man drown, and the first thing they did was pull out their phone. They wanted to see how many likes they were gonna get. You know, so you know, I think about when the ice bucket challenge did start. I thought that was a neat thing too. At first, you know, when they said why people was doing it, I was like, well, you know, that's all right, man. You humiliating yourself for a good cause. But then the next cause was the cinnamon challenge, and I saw the looks on people's faces. I said, hold on, man, I'm live on the radio. I saw people smiling and making fools out of themselves, you know, taking a chance and losing their breath. And I was like, man, why? I asked the question then, why? And you know what the really sad part about that was after every challenge came up and I was asking why, I had more people telling me to just shut up and join in. It's just fun.
Wow.
It's just fun. It's all in entertainment. So, you know, sooner or later you start looking like a party pooper because you don't join in on the minstrel show.
Wow.
Because you don't know because you have more. I put it this way: some people have more reason behind the action that they do. They're not gonna do this to do it. But some people do it just to do it, just like going to get a Popeye chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
They do it just to do it. And then when they kill each other over the chicken sandwich or for being in line too long, they still don't understand the why. The why behind it, the reason, and it has no reason. It's just it's just to be a part of what's going on. They want to be a part of the atmosphere. They want to be a participant, or they just want to not be left out, like you said earlier, being accepted. Want to be in the game. Nobody wants to be left out.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to feel like they missed out on everything. And so, you know, it's just a flaw that human beings have. And I realize now that when you are a leader, when you are not the one that likes to fit in, when you actually can look at it, take logic and look at things from the outside and say, you know what, man, I ain't going to participate in that. It takes another strong will to not be pressured into going ahead and participate because everybody else saying that you don't fit in. Remember, I was talking yesterday or a couple of days ago. I can remember the point in time when I started seeing that we were being called lame for being virgins. So at 14 or 15, we wanted to lose our virginity quick. But the strong that survived, the ones that used logic and understood
what the reason was behind being pushed, and they understood it didn't make any sense. They didn't go ahead and go along with it.
That's
So
good.
it's just a flaw that human beings have and want to fit in. I guess I don't know, or to be recognized. But it's really a terrible value that we have. I wish we would get away from it. But at this point in time, like I said, I still haven't watched that milk crate challenge, and I refuse to give it any energy because the people dictate what the demand is. Really, we should be able to dictate better. We shouldn't participate or just join in and call it harmless fun.
Exactly. Toussaint, talk to me, brother.
I'm waiting, unfortunately, to see somebody film somebody dying of coronavirus to get some likes. This is what we see now. This thing is normal now. Everybody's grieving. Everybody's leaving here. You know, just today, we got an echo. I had to call somebody. I had to just about call security because they was telling the employees, because we had an infection of some people testing positive. So when you do that, everybody that was close to them has to get the test so that we can find out, are you okay? Oh man, you know, I don't want to do it. Look, it's not an option now. We have infection among the realm. We need to see what's going on with it. Asking them, how are we going to know if you can get tested? So anyway, I just don't want to do it. I said, what you're going to have to do is make a test on the other side of the gate because you got to leave here now. Well, I just need to make listen to me. What I'm saying to you is what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to leave before they come and get you, because they will. What I'm saying about all this is we have a voice of reason, and we'll go to the extreme to prove our point. This whole thing is we make it, what about me? I don't care about Grandpa. I don't care about my cousin. I don't care about anybody else. If I can get my name out there and say I'm the protester or I'm the one that's on top of it, you mean to tell me you're going to make it on top of them crates? How many people do you know on top of them crates? Well, nobody made it. I'm the only one. I'm going to be able to do it. Now you're in the hospital. And we praying for you. Really? So what are we praying for? You being stupid?
Don't take number one misstep.
For one like, or throw your hearts up there, and we put it on TikTok, and I don't know where we're going, but we're going in a hole very quick because somebody blind leading the bunch. And we're
exactly. Now it is 58. Before I'm going to go into our next topic, anybody have anything they want to say before we get out of here? Before we get out of this topic right here?
Just one thing. I just like that fact that you have leaders and then you have sheep. Like with Jesus, like he's a shepherd, and then there are gonna be sheep in this world, and they need to be led. They're thankless, and they just need leaders, strong leaders, and
exactly
able to establish that point. Kind of goes back to the pillar of who we are in our household, who are in the community, and to be able to lead appropriately and be able to set that example and set that tone. So when your group goes out into the world, they're evangelizing on that point of making a statement like I'm not about this life, and you shouldn't be either. So
exactly
that's my add-on.
Good deal. We're going to go to our gonna kick off our next square. Rico, you there?
Yep, I'm right here.
Okay. The second square, and I know how you feel about this. Is why I came to you first. To mask or not to mask? To mask or not to mask? Is it your right? Is it technically, is it your right if you don't want to wear a mask, you want to go to all these functions, but you don't want to wear no mask? Is it your right? Or you being disrespectful to everybody else? We could put his mask on. Look at that. Look at that. Look at
No, I just walked in the house, man. I just walked in the house. Look, I left with my neighbor. You know, I gave him some gas, man. I went with him, put some gas in his car, and I put my mask on. I said earlier I was shutting down myself. If I ain't shutting down, I'm a social distance. I'm gonna cover my face on my own. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. You know what I'm saying, to try and live, to try to preserve this life, this thing we call life. And so, yeah, you have a choice. You know, you have a choice, but then when you think about it, and you ask yourself, why did you make the choice that you made? Why do you take the stance that you are taking? Is it because you just don't like the way it feels? Because I'm pretty sure if you worked in jobs where you had to deal with paint or toxic chemicals, you had to put a mask on and you had to deal with. And it was for safety issues, and you didn't argue. That was probably on that MSDS sheet that you need to wear this. It might have been on the container that you needed to put this on to preserve your life and your health. So no, if you was able to do it then, you should be comfortable enough to do it now. You know, if it's, I mean, whatever the reason may be, you still have to think about the next person. You know, at least be courteous enough to them. It's about being considerate of other people. Being considerate of the fact that this other person might be ready to infect you. So just at least protect yourself. So yeah, to me, we all have a duty, but can't nobody make us do something that we don't want to do.
That's good.
Morally, we have a duty to look out for each other. But the way society is built now, that people want to do what they want to do, they call it freedom of choice. You go worship the devil if you want to. You know. So I mean, it's like, you know, people if they can find a reason to justify it, and it fits what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But the thing is, you know, we know right from wrong, and we know logic. I'm gonna take the opportunity to wear the mask as much as I can.
Exactly. Likewise. I definitely, everywhere I go, man. When I get in the car, I take it off when I'm in the car by myself. But when I step out of that car, I'm reaching, and if I forget it, I'm going back. Hold on. I forgot my mask. Tucson, what do you say to that? To mask or not to mask? Look at this dude, man. What you got? This dude will put a whole dog on. Look at it. Man, talk, man.
I'm take your mute out.
Take your mute off. Yeah. Can't hear you.
I got one that just covers the nose. It's a half mask. It's the same thing. But I've worked with some crazy people. Actually, you know, the HNIC.
Yeah.
But I have a whole Caucasian crew. You think they're gonna listen to what I got to say? No, sir. They done that. They think I said it. So they're gonna rebel. So this is what I do, and this is one reason why. When I get to work, I lock my door. You can't come in the office, period. You don't believe it. You think it's a hoax. You don't want to wear your mask. I respect that. But I'll come out to you and they say, you look like Darth Vader. Well, you stupid. Like, you're not looking out for me, so I got to look out for me. So, and you know, what you going to do with people that don't believe? You know, I told my manager, I said, what do you do when you go into a cow pasture and you step in some mushy stuff and you say it don't smell? Yes, it do. Crap stinks. But some people don't believe it stinks. So what I have to do is I have to cover me because the next person. I respect you because you don't want to wear your mask. When you come behind me in the store, and I'm not gonna fuss and fight with you. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna do none of that. I don't have time for that. So what I do is I do me because the society that we live in is selfish. We're selfish. It's me, mine, and I, and we following a fool. Do you know? And I'm gonna say this, and I'm shut up. Do you know that they are really trying to re-elect a fool? And they go into the extreme of it. Some people moved to Florida when he got there. You stupid. You couldn't even live in Florida because you can't afford to stay in Mississippi. You stupid. But so we got the. I'm trying. Let me just shut up, okay? Because we got other folks.
Lord. VP, to mask or not to mask. Look at that Tucson something else. Look at Don had to get off the camera. He couldn't even stay on camera. Look at that. VP, to mask or not to mask.
In the end, it's somebody's right, but for me, I'm masking because you never know. It's an invisible virus. They ain't running around on the streets robbing people with a mask on. So for me to act like I'm high and mighty is the wrong way to get it in the first place, because I'm not tempting God with this. If God said put blood over the doorstep, I'm putting blood over the doorstep. He didn't say nobody out here. I ain't seen nobody out here yet, but the power of Jesus healing this COVID. That means it wasn't meant for it to be that way. And the conversation we had this morning, maybe it's a way to shut the people up and start listening a little more. But I'm not gonna argue like Tucson. I'm not arguing with you about it. For me to make a spectacle out of you not wearing a mask makes me a lesser human being than you. Because that's what he said. That's a selfish meaning. For you to think that these people out here dying of respiratory disease, respiratory failure, and the one thing that you need to breathe out of is your nose and mouth, and you won't cover it. Now shut up. So
that's good.
I think it's a free country, but I'm asking.
Absolutely. Let's keep this thing going. Pastor, what's on your heart, brother? To mask or not to mask?
Trying to remember, I'm a pastor. Here's the thing. Masking is nothing new. It's new to this country, but it's not new to society. There are parts of the world they've been wearing masks for decades. This is nothing new. The thing that you hear most people that complain about it is they say that I'm American and you're taking away my freedoms. Okay, we're taking away your right to breathe. We're taking away the right for you to not allow your family to be and loved ones to be infected by a dreaded disease that will make them die in a horrible way that will allow you to not be present and even see them as they die. That's what we're doing? Or is it that it's preventing you from going through that? So we're accepting ignorance for ignorance instead of truth, and we're applauding it. We're applauding it as a country, as a society, and it's foolishness. To be perfectly honest with you, this is absolute foolishness. I understand questions about vaccines. I understand it absolutely. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get it, but I understand you having questions about it. But it's a mask. And we're in a capitalistic society. So you don't like the mask that Rico and Don was wearing? Guess what? Go get a copper fit mask. You don't like the copper fit mask? Go get a Louis Vuitton mask.
Come on.
You can get any mask you could possibly want to go with your outfits, to be hypoallergenic. I mean, what are we talking about? I feel like Allen Iverson now. What are we talking about, masks? I mean, really, it is foolishness. And I know it may be offensive to some people. I'm sorry, but I've seen people die.
Yes.
I mean, this makes no sense. Those are deaths that were preventable, especially now. At the beginning, nobody knew. But now, these deaths are preventable. If you don't want the vaccine, then put on a mask. Stay 6 feet. That part of the science we know is proven. It has not changed. Even with the variant, even with the Delta variant, still keep your distance, wear your mask, and you're okay. I just don't, the foolishness and the fighting and people who call themselves Christians yelling and screaming, that the foolishness I saw in Tennessee a few weeks ago at some parent-teacher meeting, all of them ought to be absolutely ashamed. Open your Bible and show me where Christ validated anything that you did. And if your pastor agrees with that, let me talk to him so he can show me in the word what he's teaching you. I'd like to see it, because there is a time, people got to understand, there is a time where there's going to be an account for everything that we do. I know you weren't trying to go in this direction, but there's an account for all of this stuff. It's not just what people do here. It's not just about the stuff you get by. There's a heaven to gain and a hell to shun. You're going to bust hell wide open over a mask? Okay, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, hold on, brother. I thought you had another gear you was about to go into, brother. I thought you had another gear you was about to shift to. I was waiting on this shift. I saw your hand on the shift.
Mask.
We got another caller. My baby girl's on with us. Mary, are you there? Mary?
I am here.
Hey, darling, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. In case people don't understand what's going on or what's happening at this moment, this is my baby girl. This is my daughter, y'all. So don't think I'm old dirty old man talking to a little girl like that. That's my daughter. That's my baby girl. Hey, Mary, tell everybody who you are, where you calling from.
Well, good evening, Sugar Feet. I am, can I say my legal name?
Huh?
I am here. I'm in Virginia.
Good deal. Now what we're talking about right now, and I want to hear what you got to say about this. Mask or not to mask? Is it everybody? If a person say they don't want to wear no mask, is it their right, or do they have the right to jeopardize everybody else that's around them? What do you say to that, Mary? To mask or not to mask?
I mean, I think that's their business. But if you're not gonna wear one, don't go around coughing on people. That's kind of gross. But if you don't know one, that's your business. I don't really. It's your body. Like, do what you want with it.
But if they don't wear a mask, can they be sacrificing everybody else that's around them? Mary?
I mean, sure, but when you cough, you take it off and cough into some people cough into their hand. So if you cough into your hand and touch something, if I touch it right after you, I mean, I'm still gonna get sick. Yeah, that's true. There's still so many different layers to this thing, man. And I think from where I'm sitting, I say wear your mask. I wear my mask everywhere I go. But let me see who I got here. Aaron, you there?
Yes, sir.
Mask or not to mask, brother. What do you say to that?
I say mask, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Tell me why.
2 reasons.
Talk to me.
One, reason number one. As a survivor of COVID,
come on.
I tested positive with symptoms of COVID-19 June of 2020. So as someone who experienced it, who experienced the taste buds being messed up, who experienced the constant fevers, who's experienced the coughing, who experienced the body ache, who experienced COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Mask up. I don't want to give that to nobody else. I don't wish that on my worst enemy.
Mm.
So to have a novel coronavirus, that's why it's called a novel coronavirus. We ain't never faced nothing like this before. This is a brand new virus.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who don't know, COVID-19 stands for coronavirus identification designated number 19 because it was discovered in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So mask up. I don't want to give it to anybody, let alone get it from somebody else. You know, so that's reason number one, because I've gone through it and I don't wish it on no one else. Reason number two, of all the medical professionals and all the surgeons who are out there, when they perform a surgical procedure, what is on their face?
Come on now. Mm-hmm.
From your ophthalmologist to your orthopedic surgeon to your cardiologist to your neurologist, you name it. Any physician who performs a surgery, any licensed, accredited, certified physician who is a surgeon, each and every time they do a surgical procedure, even prior to COVID, had on what they call PPE, personal protective equipment, which includes a thin little paper thin mask over their face. And ask them why. What does it protect you from? Well, it not only protects me, but it protects my patient. Do you realize that some surgeons, or most times, a surgery will get postponed if a surgeon has a cold? They will delay that surgery for 7 to 14 days until that particular surgeon recovers from his cold or finds someone else to perform the surgery. So if that little paper thin mask can protect a surgeon and a patient in a medical room, in an operating room, then why can't it protect you from a virus?
Come on.
So mask up. I mean, it ain't hard. And like my brother said earlier, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. I remember seeing a movie in the 7th grade at an undergrad in Germany, and they had this girl who was from Asia. I can't remember which Asian country it was, but she had a mask on. And they asked her, well, why are you wearing a mask? She said, I have a cold and I don't want to give it to anyone else. We have, for some reason, we don't have it. We're demanding a right. It's my right. It's my right. It's your right to die. But why invite death when the God I serve told me that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I've come so you may have life and live it more abundantly. I can't live an abundant life with a respirator. I can't live an abundant life incapacitated. I can't live an abundant life with a virus coursing through my veins. It is 1/1000th of my size. It is trying to kill me. So why embrace death when you can live? But if you don't want to protect yourself, fine. For those who are not married and engage in sexual activity, don't protect yourself. For those who drive down the road, take your seatbelt off. For those who play sports, take off your helmet when you're in the batting cage. If you're in playing football, take off your shoulder pads and your helmet and your thigh pads. If you're boxing, take off the boxing gloves and the groin protection. Take all that off. Take off your shoes when you walk outside. If you step on a nail or a piece of glass, go ahead. When you go hunting, don't wear the bright orange vest so another hunter doesn't pop a cap in your behind because he's shooting at a deer.
Hey, cross the interstate at nighttime.
So you can live. So live. Wear a mask and live. What's the point of right if you're going to die in 13 days? Because believe it or not, there's something out there worse than COVID. Ebola is worse than COVID. And they got one that they ain't found a treatment for you. Ebola has a treatment. Marburg don't. So what if it's a Marburg Marburg, you get it, you die. There is no treatment for Marburg. You die in 7 days.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So mask up.
Exactly.
Mask it, or you're gonna be in a casket.
Mask it or be in a casket. But I put that on a t-shirt. Mask it or be on a casket. I'm gonna write that down. I might give you
Actually, one of my homegirls did a live feed on Facebook, and she called that live feed tagline "Mask it or casket." Because if you don't put a mask on, you playing with death. Death do not care. This is what the Holy Spirit told me, and I'm gonna shut up after this. Death does not care. Death is very, very selfish. Death will take you out and anybody else with you that it can. Death don't care how much money you got in your wallet or in the bank. It don't care how big your house is, what cars you drive. It don't care who your political affiliation with. It don't care about your religious affiliation. If death can take you out, it's going to take you out and take everybody with you that it wants to. Death does not care. So why invite death when you can live?
Exactly. Don, come on, man. I see you shaking your head over there, brother. Talk to me. Unmute. There you go.
Yeah. Well said, man. Hey, everybody made like some nail on the head statements. So well said. I agree. Should mask up. I do believe it's your personal opinion, but I do also believe that you are subject to, if you don't meet certain requirements for things, then you're just not going to be admitted. You know what I mean? Like there are requirements to be in certain fields. There are requirements to go into certain venues. And if you don't meet those requirements, yeah, you have every right to not mask up. That's your right. However, if they say we're not admitting people that's not wearing a mask, you can't get mad at it. You have your right, and they have their right to deny you entering into their building. That's their right, just like you have your right. So I do see that side, but you just can't go around where there are open platforms and our leadership on a higher level aren't mandating certain things to where at one point they did. That kind of creates a space where your freedom infringes upon other people's freedom. And that kind of, it's a tough debate. Like I said, if you're gonna debate it, I agree with brother that just said it. It is a deterrent. Any deterrent method that you take, any approach that you take to prevent the virus is simply that. There's no guarantees in it. No guarantees now that the studies are out. It shows vaccines are protecting people from catching it or giving it to others, and that it's just a truly dousing the fact that if you catch it, it could probably douse your symptoms a little bit, so it's not that traumatic. You know what I mean? But every approach you take is more so about deterrent. You can buy into all of the hype about well, this is my freedom, or there's some kind of government angle to put trackers in everybody. That's on you. But if you value your life, you're gonna do what it takes to protect yourself. And if you don't, then you're risking your life. You're risking your livelihood, and it's as simple as that. So it's not
Ain't
much
no two
more I
ways
can
about
say
it.
on that.
Ain't no two ways about it. Rico, talk to me, brother.
That's why I really don't mind structure and government control sometimes. Because to be honest with you, sometimes people do need to be told what they need to do. Because some people just ain't gonna do what's right. I've seen people have to be told to wear shoes and shirts in public places. They have to put a sign up. Now they might need to do it again because some people like to wear their pajamas and bonnets, their night clothes, But people want to do what they want to do. They think they got the right to do what they want to do. I don't want to put no clothes on. I ain't got to put no clothes on. These folks don't see you put the night clothes on before, but see, there's a time and a place for everything. There's a such thing as having a standard. And so for us to have a standard, sometimes you got to put people in place to control the masses to make sure we start going in that standard. If those people in control have some standards, that is. So, I don't really, I'm in favor of socialism and liberalism, but at the same time, I'm conservative too. You know, I do understand that sometimes you do have to put limits on things, because if you don't, people will go way left field. You know, then they'll go to the extremes. They'll abuse it. You know, human beings, man, we are some flawed people. I mean, you got to think about it. Even the people that have structure and control took something as good as electricity and made something like a bomb.
Exactly.
Went extreme with it. You know, that some man put the idea to other men to do that. You know, and we got to understand that we got to protect ourselves, because we are amongst other earthlings that don't care about other earthlings. They don't care about the next man, another earthling. We are amongst other earthlings that a few thousand years ago, we had to teach them to bathe, and we had to teach them hygiene, and we had to teach them to not sleep indoors with their animals. Now these same people want to vote for Trump, and they don't want to wear masks, and they starting to admit that they don't mind bathing, but once every 2 weeks. They ain't learned nothing. They're still in control. We're amongst these people. So me knowing that I'm surrounded by people like this, and they coming out now because somebody famous said that they was cool with not bathing. So now everybody coming out because it's normal to them. Hey, I ain't bathing but once every 2 weeks, because it dries out your hair. It takes the moisture out your skin. Therefore, they created lotion. Well, that's why they created lotion then. So you can wash that stink. You know what I'm saying? But now, after all these centuries, you're still admitting that you didn't learn your lesson about hygiene. And you wonder why the coronavirus is going around. You wonder why they said you make sure you sanitize yourself. Sanitize your hands. Keep your hands from away from germs. But see, even though they don't want to wear a mask, they don't want to bathe either.
Just
I'm wearing my mask. I got to protect myself.
Look, just nasty. Don Sherrod, what's going on, sir? How you doing this evening?
Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Doing good. We're gonna call you Sherrod. We got 3 Dons on here tonight. So we got the Don and the Don, the triple Dons, and so we're gonna address you.
All right. Now,
Sherrod. Sherrod, let me ask you.
You remember what I said earlier about the Jim Carrey movie? It's Dun, Dunner, and Dunnerer.
Dumb and dumber.
Exactly.
Brother Sherrod.
Got 3 Dons. Got the 3 Dons on tonight. Hey, doing good. Let me ask you something. To mask or not to mask, brother, what do you say to that? Is it a person's right if they don't want to wear a mask, or are they just being selfish and sacrificing everybody that's around them? And I know what you've been through with this situation as well, brother. So talk to me from your heart.
Well, I was just talking to somebody about that whole thing, today. I think we all have had those conversations lately, especially trying to understand where other people are coming from with their thought about mask wearing and stuff like that. And, so many of them think it's infringing upon their rights, to demand that they wear masks or their children wear masks to school and all that kind of thing. And so I'm trying to at least see their standpoint. But I think, to me, this is a place where your standpoint and the safety of other people clash. You got to determine what is more, important. And it would seem to me, the logic says to me that if all these people have been killed by coronavirus or been made sick by coronavirus, and now we got the Delta variant coming in that's killing and making younger people sick, and and even giving a coronavirus again, and since to people who've had it before, it would say, from a safety standpoint, it would say that, okay, I'm willing now to yield my right, my perspective, my logic, my upbringing for the safety of others. I think that would be the right thing to do. Of course, but I'm on the pro side, you see. But that's my opinion. It's hard for me to see how you can't come to that conclusion, even if you don't agree with it. It's just like, should I observe this traffic traffic law. I think this traffic.
Oh, we got to keep it going. Raheem frozen again. It's on you, Pastor Brown. Anyway.
Yeah, I think I love where Brother Sherrod was going with that because, you know, that's exactly right, Rico and Brother Tucson. You know, how in the world am I supposed to pick and choose the laws that are in place, knowing that it may harm somebody else just for my convenience? You know, and that's where I think that we're missing it. We need to make sure that we're thinking about our fellow brother, our fellow citizen, our fellow American. When we talk about, well, this is America, well, we're all Americans. So why in the world would I infringe upon your well-being because of my selfishness? You know, that is where we're missing it. And this is where we keep getting stuck. And, you know, and it really leads to other, you know, like I was mentioning even about the other subject, it leads to other deeper conversations that we need to have. You know, someone sort of mentioned as far as like the nuance, even about race, you know, and we won't go off and dovetail in that, but you understand what I'm saying, you know, whether it's about race, whether it's about regionalism, you know, sometimes it's where you're from and you're treating people from a different way because they're from a different area than you are. But we're all a part of the same country. We're all a part of the same, you know, body. So therefore, how I behave, I should be concerned that it affects you. Right. You know, that's just like if you live in a subdivision, you have certain covenants. And everybody has to abide by those covenants, even if it's an inconvenience to you individually. Otherwise, you're going to be fined and you're going to have to pay a fee. So who's gonna collect the no mask fees is what I want to know.
It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, I tell you, man, because that was one of the points that the guy made before I was about to call security. He says, I think they're violating my rights as an American. So I let him have that conversation with security. And he says to him, okay, leave America out. We're talking about the shipyard. This is what we're talking about. And the shipyard has certain rules. And if you want to be an American, you be American on the other side of that gate. So his job was on the line. But he was trying to make a point of you violating. But I tell you what, and I want to say that I joke and clown a lot, y'all. Gotta excuse me. This is my next move. Y'all saw it, some of y'all, but some of y'all missed it. So I just want to tell y'all what I got for them. I use it for other reasons.
God almighty.
This is how I'm gonna start going at work. You keep fooling with me, I got something for you, buddy, with your crazy self.
Lord, Mary. Mary, are you there? Mary, okay. What's on your heart before we go to our next topic? We're going to go to our next square. What's on your heart?
Nothing at the moment. I was just listening along.
Good deal. Good deal. Aaron?
Yeah, I'm still here. What you got?
Anything on your heart before we move to our next square?
No, we can go to the next one.
Okay. Pastor Brown, you are a historian. You love studying history. You love knowing about history. So let me ask you this: 50 years, 100 years from now, what is the world is going to say about us in this whole COVID situation? What is history going to say about COVID?
My goodness. I think it'll be a sad commentary. I think history will judge us as being rather ignorant and tribal and beneath the level of intelligence and information that we should have been. I think that's what it's going to judge us as. I think it's going to judge us as especially when we look at America. Let me be specific. When we look at America, that's how it's going to judge us. When it looks at us, even as 300 million people, one of the richest nations in the world, but yet an industrialized nation, but yet not able to operate based on the information that we have. I think that's how it's going to judge us. It's going to judge us also as a faithless generation, to not take information and to walk in it, and to do everything we could to demonize it instead of accepting it, which goes back to past generations.
Okay.
I think that's how we'll be judged.
Rico, what would history say about us 150 to 100 years ago concerning COVID?
Man, they're gonna say we were selfish, that we had more desire for lifestyle over logic in life, and that our value systems were completely deplorable. So, I guess we would be the era or the age of excess and immorality. Because really and truly, we've been saying it for the longest, especially with capitalism being so misplaced. And that's about money over everything. We just don't realize when they say money over everything, they really do mean it. That means money over morals. That means, like I said earlier, humiliation is a profit. Deplorable activity and behavior is profitable. It gets you attention now. You can become famous. You can live comfortably. You can buy all the exotic cars you want now. Just humiliate yourself and influence other people to do the same thing, because now they don't have to wait till the movie stars do it. They can become famous themselves. The only thing you got to do is just one up the next one. Like we said earlier, just look for that one big hit, that one opportunity, that one bright shining light that everybody pays attention to. You'll have it on easy road. We all want convenience, but imagine having as convenient as imagine having it as more convenient as anybody on this planet. You just go anywhere you want to, country to country. You go to Dubai, you talk to the money by river, you just be extravagant, be wasteful. Just not even think about the future. We all supposed to be actually leaving a place for the future. So, not just for the future, but for the progress of humanity. We got a gift of life, this gift that we supposed to leave, that just like somebody else made a way for us, our legacy. Somehow now people don't care about legacy.
Exactly. Wow. And what do you say from where you're sitting, man? What will history say about us dealing with this COVID situation?
We missed the mark. And that's being polite. And everybody that spoke before me was 100% correct. We were selfish. Our morality level was embarrassingly low. Our selfish level was embarrassingly high. We strictly walked in the flesh. We didn't, and I'm speaking as a whole. As a whole, as this nation, it's so, we are so hypocritical as a nation. We got the nerve to put "in God we trust" on our currency, but we don't trust God with our currency. We don't trust God with our lives. We don't trust God, to do the right thing for the next man, for the next woman. So we are so lustful and so greedy that we miss the mark. That's what history will say about it.
Good deal. Mary, what do you say from where you're sitting, and you're the baby on the broadcast, so we want to hear from your heart as well. What do you think history is going to say about us 50 to 100 years ago concerning this COVID situation? What is history gonna say?
I don't think it will be history in 50 years. So
Mm.
I don't really know. I don't think it'll be done.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, because in hindsight, it's like, I'm sure that's what they said the first time they heard about the flu. Like, oh, in 50 years, you know, we'll be dead. But no, it's not. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I just think we'll find a way to handle it to make sure it's not as bad as now. But I don't think it'll go away.
Mhm.
If it was gonna go away, we would have found a way with technology we have now. It's not going anywhere.
Mhm. Okay. Toussaint, what do you say history is
They
going?
made it in the same way.
Mhm. Okay. That's good. Toussaint, what do you say?
They're going to say we are world leaders because we leading in the cases of coronavirus. It didn't start here, but we're leading. The numbers don't lie. We're the leaders. That's what we want to be. Leaders. We want to lead the whole world in everything we do. But we're leading in the wrong direction. 50 years from now, it's going to be on record that the United States of America, you're leading again, just like you always want to do. You want to be the big dog. You're going to be on TikTok and all the rest of the social medias, and you are it because you like following fools. You like doing the wrong thing. You like to do the opposite thing of being just obedient. You're trifling. You're disobedient. Everything that scripture says, they're talking about the United States of America because we have become a pagan nation. We're leading the world in how to do the wrong thing. You can be what you want. You can act how you want. Who gives a doggone about scripture and God and Jesus and being led by the Holy Ghost? What is my neighbor doing? What is society doing? What makes them know about me? Who wants them to let our light shine that men see good works? Who cares about that? Who cares about righteousness? Who cares about being just and fair and loving and caring and kind? Ain't nobody in the United States, and we're mimicking that. We're going there quick. We look like Babylon. We love the appearance of whatever was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. Whatever God caused God to flood the whole earth, we're doing it, and we're doing it very fast. And we're loving it because the world sees it. So I would say 50 years from now, they're going to say they led the bunch. Wow. And I would say, don't you follow that. That's what I would say.
Sherrod, what do you say 50 years from now? What is the world going to say? What is history going to say about how we dealt with this COVID situation?
I'm afraid of what history might say because I'm afraid of how history may be interpreted. Then, if there was a righteous group that was going to be here 50 years from now that could have enough wisdom and perception to see through something and tell the truth, then yes, they may say something along the lines of what all of us have been saying, but it might not be. It might not be that kind of perfect people that are left. You know, people now look at history in the past from a whole different perspective. We got this revisionist history that, you know, history is not really history. History is what you want it to be.
Because they got
and I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't see that changing. You know. So I don't know. I would be concerned to see what history would really say. If history, if then we'd be able to give a righteous and correct evaluation of what we did.
Wow.
back now.
That's good. That's good. It sounds a little dangerous. Let me go to VP. VP, are you with us? VP, are you with us? Oh, hold on. I think he's on mute. Let me unmute him there. VP, there you go. Yes, we hear you. What is history going to say about us, man? About how we handle this whole COVID situation?
Depending on who writes the history, one, but I think history going to say the nation with the greatest defense can defend themselves from a virus they can't see. So although we got this great political power and weaponry, we can get our people together long enough to fight off a virus. They asked us to sit in the house a month and a half, 2 months, and results show around the world that the people who actually followed that and were obedient, which shows that we're a nation lacking of God, because without obedience you can't be a part of God's kingdom anyway. But he just is all wrong, and for us to, and the people on this panel and talking, they see the difference, and hopefully we can instill in, because I'll probably be a grandparent by then. All of y'all will probably be talking to God personally. But I'll tell them about the stories that we had together on this earth during these times. That this nation ain't equipped the way all the false narratives that they're putting together. We're starting to see fall apart every day in social media. So the nation of the greatest, one under God, all this stuff that they done propaganda for years, we are now finally seeing, thanks to social media, vehicle used for trying to entrap people, is also freeing people at the same time. And I think it's going to help rewrite history the correct way, because if we do it, if we let one singular group write history, they're going to say Biden took over in 20, Trump came back and saved us in 2024 from the virus. That's what I think is going to be in 50 years.
Wow. Good deal. Pastor, talk to me, sir.
Man, those are some good points, particularly about how the perspective will be. I think it goes back again. I'm sorry to keep bringing it back up, but it goes back to what Rico was saying about the deterioration of society. I think that unless there is a turning, then history will not appropriately see this. In fact, if I remember the teachings well, they that don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. So the things that we've looked at, that we see now, and people are so divided and see in one way or another, but yet the reality is that we are still, that there's some people that they may have this ideology so deeply entrenched within them, they're more concerned about justifying that ideology than they are about truly seeing truth. And they're making their own truth, regardless of the facts, regardless of how, if we would have responded the way we should have responded back in January of 2020, that this could and should have been a very different story for this nation. We were politicizing something that was clearly a health issue, and we could have dealt with it, but we chose not to, or some people chose not to, for the sake of power and party, rather than their actual brethren and neighbors and fellow American citizens and other citizens of the world, and being a good world partner, knowing that the world is much smaller now than it used to be. These are things that we're going to have to go back and look, and it will be really interesting. It will be interesting to see 50 years from now, a century from now, how people actually saw it. Will the will the demonic ploy that's being infiltrated right now, will it take root, and will it grow and fester to such a degree where by that time it comes that this will look like we did the right things and this country did the right things, and the people who stood and fought against the people who just wanted to make sure that children would be safe going back to schools, that they will look like they were wrong? And the people that said, no, you should have the right not to wear your mask and get everybody sick if you want to, that they will look like they were right? Because the Bible does talk about there's a time where those that say liberal will look wrong, and those that say almost the opposite will look right. It talks about that. It talks about saying that which is right is evil and that which is evil is good.
Mm-hmm.
There's that season that's coming, and will it be actually, will we see the turn that we're thinking, or will we simply see that season, that evolution take place, and we actually see the manifestation of that? Because that's going to lead to somewhere else, but we'll have to talk about that later.
You know, I used to sit back on. It's crazy because I thought about this the past few mornings and past few weeks. And I don't know if y'all remember a long time ago when they had the cartoon out, the Super Friends, and they had that guy Bizarro.
Oh.
And everything that went on in his world was backwards, but to him it was right. And that always stuck out to me because I noticed people in just everyday interaction, some people that carried themselves like that. And I'm like, man, that's odd. Why do they think that's right to do that? And it was because that was all they knew.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're really looking at it, it looked like that's the direction that we're going in. Because we've been trained to accept that Columbus discovered America. See, it started a long time ago with accepting wrong information.
That's right.
Accepting it for truth. That's just the way it is. Even though it don't sound right, you know what I'm saying? Just go along with it and you will be a genius. You will pass this class, you'll get a degree, and we'll consider you smart. Because you pass and you pass according to our information.
Right.
And so, you know, I look at it, and one day the world gonna wake up and they're gonna say, well, wait a minute, man, how did all these people let them deceive them like that when it just really didn't make any kind of sense? And I'm wondering, you know, at times I wonder about that, you know, when he's talking about 50 or 100 years from now. To be honest with you, that's why some people want to live forever, because they want to know what it's going to be like 100 years from now. And the story's still being written. I mean, so far, it don't look like they're going to be able to look at us real good. And I always think about the ages. You know, later on down the road, people go and label the past with ages. They got the prehistoric age, middle age, ice age, stone age. And I got a feeling that when it comes time, maybe 500 or 600 years from now, when they look back at all these world wars and atomic bombs and pollution and global warming, they're going to call us the age of toxicity. It's going to be the toxic.
There are 3 participants in the conference. Please announce your.
It's definitely going to be the toxic age and the age of convenience, because we're leaving them with a mess. We're leaving them with a mess called uranium that they got to deal with later on down the road. But guess what? Right now, the same people that own oil companies and that deal off fossil fuels and know that they're contributing to pollution and global warming, they don't care, because they ain't gonna have to be here to deal with it 10,000 years from now.
That's right.
So they're gonna look down on this era as very selfish and demonic. Gotta be demonic, because who doesn't want to make sure that life keeps going way after they're gone?
Wow. I'm looking at the clock, y'all. This time we got 6 minutes before we get out of here, man. This has been a great conversation, man. It's been hard on me tonight, man. They kept kicking me out, man. They didn't want me to hear what y'all was saying, but I didn't want me to hear all this good stuff y'all were talking about. So it kept kicking me out, but I kept coming back in. I put on a brand new glove. I felt like I almost felt like Pacquiao when he got beat the other night. I almost felt like him, you know. Pacquiao, he shouldn't have been in there, man. Pacquiao, he should have stayed at the house. And I would tell you something. And truth of the matter, had Spence been there, Spence would have probably knocked him out, man. Spence would have probably took him out of there. Cause that boy put some on Pacquiao, man. Put some on his plate, boy. Pacquiao couldn't digest it. You know, look, there might be time for them to hang them gloves up, man. You know, go on into politics, go ahead on and do what you need to do now. Go on run your country and do your thing, because boxing might be behind you. Rico, what do you say about that, man? Because I believe Spence would have taken him out.
Man, I love Pacquiao, man, but yeah, Spence would have hit him with 3 times as many punches.
Yep.
The way that boy hit him, man, I mean, he was hitting Pacquiao, but he really didn't beat him up as bad as he could have.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time when that boy went throwing punches, Spence would have been throwing punches and still landing them, and even harder. So I mean, yeah, Pacquiao, man, he would have took triple the beating, and he fought Spence, and he probably wouldn't have made it halfway through the fight.
Because, like I say, you know, when they get to hit you upside your head and hit you upside the head that quick, man, you tend to get a little dizzy, you know. Hey, Pastor, you tend to get a little dizzy, you know. And your legs don't cooperate with you like they're supposed to cooperate with you. You know, I'm just saying now. I'm just saying now. What you say about that, Pastor?
Pacquiao just got to remember one thing. Father Time is undefeated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if he get back in the ring one more time, he gonna be defeated again. Toussaint, talk to me, brother. Did you exactly? Exactly. Toussaint, talk to me.
You know, when you beat up an old man, you can't win. You lose anyway. They say you mean to he couldn't win either way, because they say you mean to tell me you beat up that old man, or you gonna let that old man beat you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
hey,
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you something though. Back where I'm from, man. Them young cats, man, they ain't gonna too much mess with them old men, because them old men will cut your shit, man. They ain't gonna
that's
fight,
why I
man.
don't fool with them young boys. I don't fool with them young boys. When they be in the middle of the street talking, I just sit there, man. I ain't finna go there, because that story, somebody got to live to tell a story.
Lord, look here, hey, Pass. He just took a left turn. Didn't give us no signal. Didn't give us no signal at all. Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, we about to get out of here, man. We got 3 minutes, man. I want to go around and give everybody an opportunity to say what they want to say in their closing, man. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody. Mary Perry, in your closing, boo.
Just wanted to say have a good night, and I love you all.
Love you as well. Sherrod, in your closing, sir.
I'm just glad to be with everybody tonight for a short period of time, and just always a privilege. Thank you so much. God bless everybody.
Hey, bless you as well. Aaron, in your closing, sir.
Be safe. You know, use the common sense that God gave you. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know what to do, you know, instead of running all over the place, just drop to your knees and look up, and then ask him directly. He'll guide you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we lost VP. VP, you're not with us anymore. I think we lost him. Let's go to Toussaint in your closing, sir.
Oh, I'm not muted. So I believe, and it's just me, Pastor Brown, you tell me. And for this cause, God shall send a strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they might not be damned who believeth not the truth. You can read on. It's in 2 Thessalonians.
2 Thessalonians, that's right.
We are there. We don't believe the truth, so you can't be free. We stay in bondage. We like bondage. So we are reminded of the people that are in Israel. We get free, and we stand at the Red Sea, and we start talking about grapes, watermelon, and cucumbers, because we like to be in bondage. I'm just saying.
Now you say, where did that come from?
First, 2 Thessalonians. Just read the whole thing. You'll see how it plans on out.
Now hold on. Now your president say 2 Thessalonians, ain't it? Ain't that what your president say?
No, that was 2 Corinthians.
774. 74
Yes.
million people.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Rico, in your closing, sir.
Man, we have the freedom of choice, but to me, the logical thing would be to choose life. Go out here, be safe. You don't have to wait on the government to tell you that you want to live. If you love life, man, you go and quarantine yourself, social distance yourself, shut down yourself. If the stores are open, let them stay open. But choose life.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Pastor, in your closing.
I think that was great wisdom from Brother Rico. And I agree with what, Brother Toussaint was sharing from 2 Thessalonians. Actually, you read Ezekiel, and I just happen to be doing a study there. That's where a lot of that, where God was talking about, y'all have rejected me and I'm done with it. And our society is eerily moving in that direction. In fact, I would say that we're here. And it's time for there to be an awakening. For those that are a part of the beloved, it's time to have that awakening and to say, listen, enough is enough. And I pray that, even what we've shared tonight, and everybody had such awesome comments. I pray that, it comforted others and jarred some people that needed to have been jarred, so that we would start looking at things from the right perspective and grow together and take care of each other.
Absolutely. And with that being said, it's time for us to get out of here. It's time for us to get out of here for tonight. It's been a great broadcast. Normally we say what we Way Out Wednesday, but there's no Way Out Wednesday right now because of the fact that old Knucklehead fellow over here that went back to school, and so we're taking those courses on Wednesdays from 9 to 3. So that kind of eliminates Way Out Wednesday. What Way Out Wednesday? What was it called, Rico?
It was Wild Wild Wednesday. Well, yo, hold on. Yeah, okay, you did say it. Way Out Wednesday.
Yes, sir. And so, man, we definitely want to encourage you to share this broadcast. It's been a great broadcast, man. I definitely enjoy these brothers when we come together, man, and we have this conversation. My baby girl, she come on with us as well, so we definitely appreciate her too, that she spent time with our old man and hang out with me a little bit. That means a lot to me. Pastor, if you don't mind, Pastor, will you pray us out?
Sure thing. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you so much for this opportunity to come together as men, as brothers and sisters in your name, oh God. Thank you for strengthening every person that listened, oh Father God. Thank you for encouraging us along the way. And we pray that something was said that opened some eyes, that impacted hearts, oh Father God, and that encouraged others, Lord Jesus. We thank you for all of these things, and we give you the glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. It's time for us to get out of here for tonight. I want to thank you again. Thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Real Men Being Men for being a part of your evening. It is now 10:03. You're about to exit Real Men Being Men. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. You never know. Y'all have a great day. Take an opportunity to give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great evening, and we will see you right back here. Actually, tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Only One Truth. Y'all are gonna love that broadcast. If you had an opportunity to see it, you need to tune in to Only One Truth from 6 to 7 right here at DKM Media Group and Eastern Standard Time right here at DKM Media Group and Associates. So you'll be real impressed with it. Want to be impressed, Rico? There you go.
Yeah, you'll like it. They'll like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great evening, y'all. Take care of each other and stay blessed.